today, yes, probably would be smarter to show my face. Hi. Today I'm working on the Ahsoka gloves from her Rebels costume. I haven't really started anything on them other than doing a little bit of research and of course already having the fabric from the dress. I've set up my machine and the fabric here, but other than that we will be doing everything completely from scratch. I've got to measure my arms and kind of estimate out exactly how I want them to be, draw it on the fabric, cut it out, and then sew it. So let's get started. All right. Let's see. So starting here on my hand, better if I do this, it's gonna have to go all the way up to my forearm. Well, not forearm, sorry, to my shoulder. So we're looking at let's see, a conservative 19 inches long. And measuring my arm here, got 11 and a half, which would make it 5 3/4 wide. We'll give it a full 6 because of hems. And of course that is going to be the widest part of my arm, I think. Let's check out. Yeah, that's definitely the widest part of my arm. And then we can narrow it from there with pins. 19 will make it even 20. We'll do a second one here. Oh, let's make a line first. Straight edge. Of course, since I've got it 2 layers, that is still only going to be one arm. So I have to make a second one. Wrong end. Oh, and then the reason it's at such a weird angle here is so that it can get maximum stretch this way. There we go. I'm trying to figure out where I am in relation to the camera, sorry. Nope, that is not going to be long enough. So we'll have to do the second arm on a different section of fabric. We'll just cut out the one for now, and then I'll have to straighten things out. It does kind of go off the corner a little bit here, but that's going to be my hand side, so I'm not really worried about that because it's going to be trimmed. I've made it far too large than I need on purpose. Sorry, just trying to make these nice and smooth, because when I put them away when they're not, they get real wrinkly. Okay. You'll have to forgive me. I don't know if you can hear in the background the screaming and music. That is my roommate who is in the bedroom next door. He does that a lot. So hopefully it's not distracting or really loud or being picked up. I do have the door closed. Okay. Get these into two separate pieces. Now, they're not the greatest looking squares in the world, but that's okay. They're not meant to be squares. Next, we will pin them so I can figure out exactly where I'm going to need to sew. Since obviously these were made to be wide enough for my upper arm. And it will get much more narrow down by the wrist. I'm going to try and estimate exactly where it's going to get more narrow, which is why I'm doing the pins not in a straight line. We'll see if that works out. If not, they're just pins and I can always move them. Sorry I wasn't able to do a stream last week. I had a birthday party for my niece to go to in the middle of the afternoon. And we probably got home in time for me to do like a 2:30, 3 o'clock. No, we ended up hanging out like all the afternoon. That's right. Never mind. We hung out with my brother and sister-in-law and niece and nephew for a while. I hope you did enjoy. If you follow me on social media, the little reel video I put together, even though one of them was sideways on Instagram. I forgot. I was so used to filming with the camera on this setup for Twitch that I forgot to turn it the other way for Instagram reels. But I got it the right way for the second video where I was sewing. That is a little jacket, in case you didn't read the comments or description or whatever, for my cousin's daughter. She has a plush that his jacket was pretty beat up and he needed a new one. So they were joking around. It's like, oh, maybe Anne will make one on Thanksgiving. And then they asked me if I could, like a few months later, because it got real bad. So he's got a new jacket now. I haven't given it to them yet, because I haven't seen them yet. This is the super exciting part of costuming. Cutting, pinning, cutting, pinning. These are situated with the wrong side out. You probably can't tell from the camera, but you can feel a difference. It's a lot softer here, and I want that on the outside of the fabric because it's a lot nicer, and that's probably meant to be the right side. I know it seems backwards. You think, oh, you'd have the soft side facing you. That's only true with liner, where you want the janky side on the inside of the garment. Well, I guess the outside of the inside, because that's not confusing. But technically the liner still has the soft side as the right side and the rough side as the wrong side. The only difference there, of course, is because liner is meant to be sewn inside out, the right side faces you, whereas most garments have the right side facing away from you. Sorry if that's like super obvious and people who are watching already know about sewing. That's just how it is in case somebody doesn't know. Okay. Looks like I actually got a pretty good estimate. As you can see, it can use a little bit tighter around everywhere but the elbow, I'd say. No, I could probably go tighter around the elbow too. Yeah. It's a pretty good first attempt. Okay. I'll just move everything in a smudge. think that looks pretty good. It looks super weird with all the stuff on the outside, and this is a very odd angle to film, but it looks about right. It's not as tight as I'm going to want it up here, but that's okay. I actually plan to reinforce this top edge with a piece of elastic because this is going to need to hold the whole thing up. And then, of course, it looks funny down here because it's going to have a hole for the thumb, which will probably be right here. But yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's get the second one pinned similarly, and we can start on sewing. Again, I know I've said this before on the channel, but if you want me to talk more, please let me know. I'm mostly just doing running commentary on what I'm doing. If you want me to talk about other stuff, if you have questions, jump in the chat. Go ahead and ask. I'd be happy to answer them. You know, it gets long, silent, and honestly, I wonder if sometimes it gets boring. And that's not my goal, to make a boring stream. But then again, I guess if you like it to be kind of soft and boring, if it's like, oh yeah, put it on so you can fall asleep to it. That's not really why I was making the channel, but hey, that's respectable. You're getting some kind of enjoyment out of that way at least. Apparently I cut the second one way wider than the first one. Just realized I'm going to be sewing these things in opposite directions anyway, so the pins do not need to go in the same direction on both sides. Technically, it doesn't really matter which way the pins go, but it's a lot easier to pull them out while you're sewing on the machine when they're going in a specific direction. Specifically if they're going point towards the needle. spots, and you can pull it out the opposite way that the machine's going, rather than, oh shoot, I got it too close. Now I have to pull it out right underneath the foot, which is hard. Okay, let's try this on my other arm. It's just a little bit more snug on this arm at the top. Mm-hmm. Could probably use to be brought in just a bit in a couple spots. Kind of wonder. There's one arm slightly different size than the other. Let's try this one on the right arm, see if it does any better. I have to let it out in the upper arm. No, it's still really snug. But that's okay. If it really doesn't work, I can always just cut another piece. I have lots to spare. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. It's a little more snug in spots. All right, time to sew. Okay. Oh. All right. Nope. Serger is kind of difficult because it is much wider here. There we go. It's much wider here, and it takes up almost the entire little dip thing. So I don't really have anywhere to put the camera like I do with the other machine, where I usually put it right here. I have before opened up this little door, oops, and set it on here, but this is not the sturdiest thing in the world, and then the whole camera shakes, and I don't really want to break the door. So I'm still trying to figure out what the best way is to film the serger. I'm sorry, you'll have to bear with me while I figured that part out. So let's try just going from the side here so I can still see the chat while I'm going. These aren't super wide garments, so I'll still be able to put them right through here. All right, now I should grab a scrap. Make sure the tension is still good. It should be, because I'm pretty sure I haven't adjusted the tension for the last couple projects I did. Because it just ended up working out that this and the Leia jumpsuit were similar fabric. As you can see here, looks pretty good. It's the front, it's the back. Skipped a stitch at one point, but it does that sometimes for some reason. And then opening it up, it's not coming undone, so I think the tension is good. Okay. Pin box handy. What I usually do here is I can kind of see where the pin has been pulled because there's a little hole. So I try to make it so that the needle is going to be piercing exactly where the pins were. That way the hem is lined up nicely. I know some people will sew directly over the pins. That definitely wouldn't work with a serger. But I know if you pin them the opposite direction, like perpendicular instead of parallel, then it works pretty decently with the regular machine. Went a little bit over the edge here, but I think that will be okay because I am going to have to fold this over anyway. Still did the skipping stitch thing. I don't understand why. Couple times. Shoot, I might need to change the needle. Let's try doing that real quick. See if it improves. I haven't actually changed the needle since I bought this machine, so it's probably overdue. Extra one in here, right? Yes? No? Maybe not. Let's see if I've got it. Other stuff. I guess not. Okay. trouble seeing where the hole is. Excuse me. That's not going to make it easier. There we go. I won't stab myself. Shoot, where is the hole? It disappeared. Is that it? Yeah, oh, there we go. Got it. Be smarter than the machine. Sorry, dropped my pins outside of the thing. Alright. Doesn't... Oh, there is still one. Still one. A couple skip stitches. They appear to be... Maybe it's not the... No, I don't know what it is. Well, I'll just reinforce those spots with zigzag stitches on the other machine. And we'll call it a day. stitches. I've got a thread that's come out of where it's supposed to be. Everything else appears to be where it needs to be, though. No skips this time, so we'll just slowly figure that one out, I guess. Yep, none there either, so whatever I'm doing, I'm improving. All right. Let's give this a try. First, we'll turn it to the right side. Yeah, looks pretty good. Awesome. Okay. Oh no. Have to reinforce that spot. That's right where the wrist is, and my hand is too wide for my wrist, apparently. I'm not going to fix it with a serger because it's really weird doing small areas over the areas you've already serged. I will just reinforce that with the other machine. But there is still one more thing we can do with this machine. Seems like he's turned up the TV over there. Again, I am sorry. If we end up being able to hear it in the background, I will have to figure something else out in the future. Alright. There we go. Inside edge, nice and serged. And up here. It's one sleeve. Basically put together. So, serger also cuts off the little edges, so I have a bunch of things that are just like falling off the front of the desk and landing on my pants. The ones we have at work have this little chute that goes down to a trash can. Well, can go down to a trash can if you put a trash can in the right spot. This one just goes basically straight out in front of you and inevitably ends up in my lap. What's going on here? Something got caught where it shouldn't have. I can't quite see what it is yet. I think it was the end loop. Yeah, it got sewn up with the rest of it. Everything else seems like it's okay. Went over that spot, so hopefully that should be good. There we go. And now for the small part, just a little trickier, as you saw from that last one, because it doesn't quite fit over this thing. Okay, here we go. Is that nice edge? And I think I'm going to leave that there for today for the stream. Got a really nice start on these guys. So you can actually see me talking. Got a nice start on the sleeves. Sleeves, gloves, whatever. I'm gonna have to switch to the other machine to move forward on those, which I may just do right after this, or I might work on some other stuff. Either way, I'm ending the stream for today. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, doing all the, typical shill stuff that even little children know what it is now. My nephew apparently finishes every home video that they do on his iPhone. Well, not his iPhone, my brother-in-law's iPhone. Like and subscribe. But I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel if you enjoy watching me. Definitely follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm most active on Instagram just because it's easier for the stuff that I share. But I've got my Facebook page and my Twitter feed that I share most of the stuff I put on Instagram too as well. So, that's it for today. See you next week. Thanks again for watching. Bye.